Hey, Nation, Harry here. I have my I Love Data hat on because we're going to talk about data today with Phelim Rowe over in the UK across the pond. How you doing?
Doing well, having a great time. Still would love to see a hairdresser when they open up, if they open up, but yeah, having a good time.
All right, I finally got to see Mike down at Sandy's Barber on Bainbridge Island, so that's the hat. Yeah, it felt good though, boy. That was I counted up. I think it was over 90 days since my prior haircut, and I like haircuts. I don't like to overheat when it's hot outside, so it's starting to do that. But well, Phil, just a quick hitter this month of June. We just got past solstice. It's summer. Want to talk about privacy in this context with the shift from in-person events, which you're fond of and I'm fond of, over to online events. And boy, there's a bunch of them. I'm starting to kind of question the privacy of the information I have to divulge. If you don't mind, you recently attended a large event where, and I looked at the forum as well, but it was a multi-page survey. So this was not just, name, rank, and serial number type form. And it got to page 3, and they wanted to have earnings and revenue information, which I don't divulge. I'm privately held. It's not to my benefit to divulge. How's that sit with you? How did you answer that question? Talk to me.
So I guess I'm subject to GDPR, which is the European regulations on data privacy, right? So
Yep.
I have a bit of a sense of if something is proportionate, if it is necessary, and if someone's actually told me why they're doing what with my data and how long they're going to keep it. So we're all a little bit sensitive to that. And I think in California, with the California Privacy Act, they're getting sensitive to that as well. But what you got to understand is, if you think of, I think we've spoken before, internal events, external events. A solution provider thinks, hey, it'd be nice to do a bit of marketing. I'm going to throw an internal event, and people are going to get pitched for a few days, but I'm going to show them a nice time and wine them and dine them. Whereas the external event has to consider, okay, how do I attract a group of people? And it's often by content. And it's often by picking a topic, like, there could be a privacy in exhibitions event. I mean, it would be a small one and it would be an immediate one. So having said that, the form that I filled out was a little bit intrusive, and you got to understand why they're doing that, because they are selling you. And in order to let you in for free, in this case, where usually it costs a few $100s, but actually they do the very same thing in the in-person events, they try to get you to play into their hands so they can sell you. So if you're an MSP, they do ask revenue, they do ask turnover, they do ask all of these things, and then they sell that fact that you were at the event to some solution provider that would love to bundle through you. And it gives them a sense of qualification. Now, of course, you could lie and they'd be bundling some false information and giving some other people some false hope. But I mean, that's fundamentally what they're doing. And it plays into the bigger question as to whether or not people want to sit through gushing tales of how amazing a particular product is. I mean, if you're already using it, and like me, if I attended a GoDaddy how-to seminar on some aspect, I mean, that's very useful to me. But actually, I'm an existing customer of GoDaddy, so that's no use. I'm already buying it. Yeah. I'm already buying the stuff. They phone me up, and I'm actually quite amenable. I'm like, yes, nice to speak to you. I'm open. What these internal events do not really do is attract new buyers. And as you've just pointed out, you're a bit like, well, what do you want to do with this data? If something's free, you're the product.
Yeah. It at its core, one of the business models of SMB Nation is we're a publisher, is the term is in the industry. We're a lot of things, but that's one way to frame it up. And a publisher, yeah, I'm very interested in getting as much information about you as I can, because I can then target you with advertisements, right? But you may not want to be targeted with advertisements. And that's the yin and yang, is how many fields on the form, how many fields will you complete before you rebel and don't complete the form, and ergo the content. And so, yeah, I just, like I say, I bumped into an event that you're aware of as well. And it was probably the longest form I've seen yet. And Phelim, it kind of goes back to, do you remember the old timey, magazines and oversized tabloids for our industry? And you had to fill out, like, once a year, they would have a false cover on the printout, and you had to answer, what what areas do you support? Firewall, backup, recovery, how many employees, what are your purchase plans for the next 12 months?
Yeah, I mean, that's very personal. If you've got any real purchasing power, that type of interrogation, would be better done face to face if you really want to do it. Otherwise, a tick box, oh yeah, Harry's going to spend a few million on security. Really? Like, I mean, surely that needs to be qualified.
Well, and I'll wrap on this. To your point, I think the point flew by, but let's call it, you can TikTok it. As you know, there was a movement on TikTok recently to have a lot of people sign up for a political gathering that had no intention of showing up. So, a lot of times at those forums, it's the TikTok effect that you'll just give them any number you want, right? I'm not really going to tell you what my revenue is, but sure, yeah. 10 million.
Because I mean, I got an email and it said, hi, and listen to the benefits to me. The email said, I would be interested in speaking to you to find out about your experience organizing events online, because that information is valuable to me. Now, okay, there's some sort of neurolinguistic programming thing where, if you insert the word because, people are very likely to do stuff for you, but come on, what's in it for me? You want to phone up me to discover my data because it's valuable to you. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Well, hey, let's make that the final word for June, and we'll catch you on the flip side next month, my friend. Thanks, Phelim.
That'd be great. See you soon.